Hey there, everybody. I just wanted to talk to you today about some health and wellness things that have been pretty shocking to people. And there's something that you can do about now if you're aware of them. So, part of what I do as a functional medicine health coach is educate people as to what's going on with their health and point out some things that might be signs along the way of you headed towards a disease process or a diagnosable disease. My teacher in my school says, you don't walk into your doctor's office one day and all of a sudden you have diabetes. There are signs along the way. But unfortunately, mainstream medicine they don't really look at those trends. They're all about you going to them with a disease that can be diagnosed and then they treat that. But prevention is not really something that they consider. So, as far as this stuff goes. So I just wanted to talk to you today. It's apparently Health and Wellness Month, and I like to say, every month and every day is Health and Wellness Month or day for me, and it really should be for you too. If you want, I teach people to pay attention to what's going on with their health so that they're more aware and they can maybe prevent disease before it becomes diagnosable. And we're seeing metabolic syndrome running rampant right now, and that is type 2 diabetes. So I just want you to understand some things so that perhaps if you see a trend going in the wrong direction, you can stop it now before it progresses further, as long as you're aware of what's happening. So blood glucose is usually what's measured in every routine exam when you go for blood work. And that's a good indicator of what's happening, especially if you can see an upward trend. In functional medicine, we like to see it be below 90. And most people are in the 90s that I see. It's very rare that I see some of my clients that are below 90. And if they are, maybe it's too low, like in the 70s, and they're hypoglycemic. So that means most of the time it's actually much higher than that. So blood glucose is just a snapshot in time. And so when you go get blood work, you want to make sure that your routine and everything is as normal as possible. You didn't just come back from vacation. You didn't just get over a cold. You didn't go to a wedding last night where you had foods that you don't normally eat and drink that you don't normally do on a regular basis. You want it to be as normal as possible, and you want it to be as stress-free as possible too. So be careful with like driving to your blood work. Make sure that you take your time. You're not stressed out while you're going to your blood work. Try to avoid road rage issues, like just drive slower, let people get out of your way, who cares? Because the less stressed you are when you get blood work done, the better your results are as far as really showing you what's going on. And I know a lot of you have portals out there, or maybe even keep your blood work paperwork in a file perhaps, but maybe you don't really know what you're looking at there, because a lot of times doctors will say you are fine when all your levels are within a reference range. Now the reference range is based on the statistical norm of the general population of the United States. So you tell me if you think that the general population of the United States is a healthy one. And most of the time when I say that to people, they're like, no, they're not. So why do we want to have our ranges within a reference range that's based upon the American population as a whole? We don't. So in functional medicine, our ranges are quite different. Sometimes we want you to be on the higher end of the reference range, sometimes the lower end, sometimes the middle. And when it comes to fasting blood glucose, you want to be below 90, really between 80 and 90. That's like the healthiest range. And what I urge you to do is go into your portal or look at your blood work, and if you have several years worth, I want you to see if there's a trend of that blood glucose going up. Like maybe one year it was 92, the next year it's 94, the next year it's 96. And if there's ever an HbA1c level for you, you need it to be below 5.3. Anything above 5.3 is doing oxidative damage, and you're headed towards type 2 diabetes. Now, blood glucose levels can be increased So blood glucose is a snapshot in time, so it fluctuates greatly. HbA1c is a better indicator of what's actually going on with your blood glucose levels, because it's representative of about a 3-month time frame of your blood glucose levels. So if your HbA1c is over 5.3, there's some work you need to do. Blood glucose levels can go up for many reasons, and that's what I work on with my clients to rectify, determining first off what it is that's causing that, and secondly, how do you combat that. And one of the main reasons why is stress, and it can be mental stress and it can be physical stress. So I just wanted to give you a tip today, and give you a short little, talk about this to start to give you some ideas about how to prevent disease before it begins. So physical stress on the body can be many, many different things, but one of them is if you snore and you breathe through your mouth at night. And what that means, the body kind of sees that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sleep apnea. It can be just snoring, because a lot of people snore but they don't have sleep apnea. However, your body still kind of sees it along the same lines, where you're struggling for breath. So your body gets the idea that you're in a dire situation and you're struggling to breathe. So it starts to do in the body what the body is designed to do, which is to raise your blood glucose level. And that's because your body thinks that you're in fight or flight, that you are fighting for your life. And so it will raise the blood sugar level, because if you are actually fighting for your life, you need sugar to give you energy so you can run away to save yourself, let's say. It does lots of other things to you as well, which is the natural mechanism of the body. So the body's working perfectly and as it was designed to do so. So the body's not broken. And I teach people that all the time too, that when we look at what's going on with people through the functional medicine lens, we're looking at the body just reacting the way it was designed to. Not that it's broken and that you've got, it's not working properly at all, and, there's problems and this and that. It's actually doing what it's supposed to. And we teach you what that is, and then, how you can change it so that the body goes back to working the other ways it was designed to, that is more of a healing mechanism. So back to snoring. If you snore and you breathe with your mouth open all night long and you wind up with like dry mouth in the morning, first off, that's one of the reasons why you might have issues with your teeth and your gums, because saliva is protective. And when it gets dry, the mouth can no longer fight off the bacteria that is naturally in the mouth. No matter how much you clean your teeth, I know many people who are very good at cleaning their teeth and going to the dentist all the time, and they just don't understand why it is that their teeth have cavities and they have gum issues and infections and all sorts of things. And one of the reasons why that nobody really talks about is that you breathe through your mouth at night. So something that I found that helps with not only, say, raised blood sugar because your body feels stressed out, that basically believing it's in fight or flight, and also fixing dental issues, is something called mouth taping. And you're going to think I'm crazy. And it's funny and people laugh when you say these things. But I just want you to know that I've been using it for quite a while now. I don't know if it's been a full year. I don't think so. Because I snore and I sleep with my mouth open and drool while I'm sleeping. And so I've been using it. I'll tell you, I have so much more energy. I get up, I'm better rested. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning now, and I'm pretty much wide awake. Probably because cortisol levels have equaled out because I've been using these. So I'm not selling these. I just want you guys to be aware. There's many companies that sell them. The couple of things you want to know about them is that you don't want to buy any of them with the hole in the center. And you don't want the ones that just go from here to here, and like keep your mouth closed, but the sides are open. You need to cover the whole mouth. And so I've tried out lots of different versions. This one's called hostage tape, and they're trying to make fun too and be funny about it, which is great because, you know, let's have some humor about things. But you basically, before you go to bed, you peel off the back, you gently place it over your mouth and your lips, and basically tape your mouth shut while you're sleeping. And, you know, you might feel a little bit like you can't breathe, or you have to make sure your sinuses, your nose can, you know, handle breathing through it. So you could do things like neti pot before you go to bed if you have any sinus issues, which I love. It gets rid of a lot of allergens and toxins that clog and mucus that clogs your sinus cavity, and it washes it out. You can breathe way better. And you can easily like peel it off and like cough or breathe if you feel like, you know, a little bit like you're trapped. I mean, I think for anybody who has like PTSD, or like somebody like mugged them once and put their hand over their mouth or taped their mouth shut, it's probably not appropriate. So, you know, nothing we talk about is appropriate for everyone. But for those of you out there who've never heard of something like this, you might want to look into it, because I'm telling you, it's really made a big difference in my life. And if it could also bring down cortisol levels, let's say, or make the body believe that you're fine and you're breathing properly throughout the night, and that you're not in fight or flight mode, which is one of the worst things that you can be in a chronic state, then I think it's worth looking into. And they're inexpensive enough to like try, to just try one package to see if you could deal with it. And it's, you know, I think it probably took me 1 or 2 days to get used to it, and then I didn't even notice it. And ultimately, I feel so much better that I feel like it's worth doing every night. And I just wanted to let you guys know about it. I just got in this one because I've used another one called PAP MD that is a big like rectangle like this. And then I thought, well, you know, I'll use this one. And these are like hypoallergenic. They're kind of like almost like Band-Aid material. So they're not going to hurt your skin or anything. It doesn't hurt to take it off. And you just put it on your mouth and go to bed. And so you could try different ones to see which ones you like better, depending on your mouth size and that kind of thing. But I just got these, the Dream Recovery, and I haven't tried them yet, but they're similar to the PAP MD ones. So I think these are all probably good examples. So give it a try and feel better rested, and feel better because you're not as stressed out at night. You may not be aware that you're stressed out at night because of what's happening. It may even prevent snoring. It didn't in me, but they do say that like a lot of people stop snoring when their mouth is taped shut. So it's, if somebody that you love, that you sleep with, snores and it keeps you awake all night, that is also something that is not a good thing. And in fact, if that's happening and that's not rectified, I suggest sleeping in another room. That's what actually my husband and I do, and we're so happy about it, I can't even tell you, because he would wake me up all night because I was snoring, and then I'd get mad at him for waking me up, and he'd get mad at me for snoring, and he knew it wasn't my fault, and I knew it wasn't his fault because he was trying to sleep. And I can't even tell you how much happier we are that we sleep in separate bedrooms now. So that's something to consider for sure, because your health and sleep are so important, much more important than sleeping next to somebody, if it's at all possible and you have another room that you can set up for the other person. But I'm telling you, try these out and see how it goes. But that's my tip of this week. I don't know that I'm going to do these every week, but I think that doing them once a month is not enough, maybe. So I just want to give you guys some functional medicine tips to help your overall health and wellness, which is really my job. All right, so I hope that helps. And if anybody has any questions, just reach out to me. Talk to you later. Bye.